from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare, but when I stopped to see those eyes begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try it. If I bleed tonight, if I accept tonight, I don't have the time to fight. And if I win tonight.
All right, good evening, race fans. I'll tell you what, tonight we got a good one here. Gonna be lined up for you for this Hometown Heroes that's been going on for the past several weeks here for the GForce Racing League. We got the Gambler Motorsports pre-race show here, and if you just don't know who Gambler Motorsports is, I'm gonna tell you, great esports race team. They do a lot of dirt, sport, asphalt, endurance racing on the iRacing platform. Check them out on Facebook. Give them a follow and a like. Gambler Motorsports. We got old Roger and John up here. Guys, I tell you what, it's going to be an interesting night. I know y'all got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's a big night tonight with the autism awareness acceptance, and during the 410 race, we'll have Penny Lee Cramner on to talk a little bit about that, to just educate us a bit on autism and a little bit about what it's all about. But yeah, we got a great night of it's all wing sprints tonight. We got the 305s and the 410s, and then we've got our A Division Renegades, which always put on a great show. So should be an exciting night. Bad
boys of the wing sprints. That's what I'm telling you. I'll tell you what, right there. So basically going from apples to oranges night to day. Difference from a 305 to a 410. Oh, actually 360. My bad. But we do run some 410s every once in a while. Those things are even. I don't know, over the edge than what a 360 is. So I tell you, it's been a good one though so far here for the Hometown Heroes. I mean, it has been hot and heavy competition wise, but still the man that owns it's got to be Lane Snook.
Yeah, and breaking news, Lane has a computer issue actually, and had disconnected, and he is currently not reconnected. And as somebody that had some issues on Monday night, this could put him behind the 8 ball. He may not get a qualifying, might have to tag the back of his heat, or do what I did and tag the back of a B. If he doesn't get it turned around, he may have to park it. So you've got to keep an eye on Lane here tonight.
And just to add to that, he is not in first place here. He's been dominant in pretty much all divisions, but Brian Moore Sr. has the lead with 264 points. And then there's Lane with 261, Dan Vaught and Nick Vickery, Kyle Parker. Those are all Spartan. Well, Nick and Kyle are Spartan guys. And then Brian Moore Jr., he's in the hunt too, chasing down his dad. And then we got Blake Chapman, Jeff Parker, and the gunslinger Gunther Gretzinger and Lance Ripka make the top 10.
It sounds like a good top tier guys, like you say, to kick it off here to Hometown Heroes here, and it has been a good series. Like I said, we have some interesting racing, folks. I mean, if you haven't missed it, go back and check out past broadcasts there on the GForce Esports YouTube channel, because we've had some interesting races with legends, trucks, sprint cars, street stocks. It has been a wild one. Tonight, like I said, we've got all wing sprint machines out here.
Yeah, it's going to be a fast pedal down kind of night with running these open wheel cars all night.
I like them. I mean, I really, when it comes to dirt racing, obviously, I think now just me speaking, on iRacing in general, I think the late models, maybe the UMPs, maybe the big blocks now, but it was really the late models, probably one of the most popular sets. But now in real life, I got to say wing sprints, when it comes to dirt racing, and I guess the World of Outlaws, why it's put it on the map for that, is I'd say they're pretty popular.
Oh, absolutely. And tonight's, you look at the turnout we get here, and I think that speaks to the popularity, at least with our league. And each class puts on a good show, even though there might be a little bit of a speed difference between the cars. And I think the big storyline tonight, what I'm looking forward to seeing is, last 3 weeks here, the heat races, we've seen people get into trouble. They've been into transfer spots, and it seems like at least 2 or 3 of the heat races, we see somebody throw away a transfer spot and have a problem there. So I think that's going to be a big thing to look for tonight.
You're right. It has. I've seen that, they'd be right there in that transfer, about to get it, closing deal, coming out of turn 3 or 4, and then just get into trouble. So, yeah, it's interesting. Like you said, we're going to have our, autism awareness here. And if you know somebody out there that's, got autism or if you're associated with it anyway, let us know out there in the chat. Definitely love the fans and viewers tuning in, as always. Appreciate y'all. And like you said, we're going to have Preston Cranmer's wife come up here. I know you said she deals with kids of autism.
Yeah, she's a school teacher and been teaching 7 years, and every year she's had at least one autistic child in her class. So she's got lots of experience with it, very passionate about it, and we did a Pitside podcast special edition with her earlier in the weekend. It's well worth watching. She really, for myself, I thought this was a great idea, but in going through the process, I've learned a lot, and so if everybody could just learn a little bit more about it and learn to recognize, what the differences are, and and how to accept them, I think it'll be a bonus. And the other thing we got going here, Joe, we're hoping to make life complicated for you. So Preston Cranmer has made a special autism sprint wrap. A lot of guys are running it. Plus, I know VMR Wraps has done some custom wraps. So there might be a lot of cars that look the same for you. So the more challenging it is for you, the more support we're actually getting for the cause.
There you go, no doubt about it. I saw the paint out there. It looked pretty nice, and I like that VMR stepping up, definitely doing something good. Always like the charitable events, done a lot of them in the past, so that's awesome. And hey, you talk about the autism stuff, it's just like anything. There's many different levels of it. There's many different things that are involved, and like you said, you have to really be educated, skilled in that area to know what you're dealing with, because not every case is the same usually. So obviously we'll definitely get some info on that. As right now, these guys, man, are still kind of in a little practice out here. We've got our Gambling Motorsports pre-race show. We're going to head off soon here into our VMR Wraps qualifying session here soon. I tell you, I did the big blocks this past week. That was really fun. Kind of switched up the nights there, and the big blocks, that was fun to watch those guys. Had Doug up in the booth with me, and we just had a ball with that one, watching them boys just kind of fly around the track, so to speak, and those big block monsters.
Yeah, last week's it was a good run for me anyway, but I think we were at Bristol. And
It was.
I will say this. These are going to go this track's a little slower than what Bristol was. We were flying there last week for sure.
Well, the first broadcast I'd ever done Bristol dirt, that is. I've done a multitude of asphalts there and whatnot. So it really, to be honest with you, didn't look any different than what an asphalt race was. Y'all were running a high line just like they do there. So up against the wall, and I was like, okay, there you go. But we're in a VMR Wraps qualifying session, folks. If you want to look good on the track, check out VMR. They're a new sponsor coming on board here, the GForce Racing team, GForce Racing League. And again, check them out on Facebook at VMR Wraps. And I know they're going to have a couple of them out here that they've done. And I know these drivers will look good coming around here. So I want to give a shout out to also iRacing League Manager. We went over our standings earlier and talked about it in the pre-race show there, but definitely check out iRacingLeagueManager.com. If you run a league, own a league, do anything with a league, there you go. They'll definitely make your job a lot easier. iRacing League Manager, check them out there. But guys, qualifying right now. Looks like Nicholas Vickery putting it on top with a quick time of 12:82.
Yeah, that's moving around here. We've seen the qualifying times jump around here. I've seen the quick time here be a 12:68. Even seen him at a 12:90. So I think this track is pretty sensitive to the time of day and kind of what the settings are for the weather anyway. So the 81 though, look how close this is all the way through the top 10 though. Less than a tenth, separate the top 10. That's tightly packed.
Got to be thousands separating the top two because it's 12:82, 12:82, 12:84, 12:84 on the third and fourth. So, wow.
Yeah, third and fourth both ran 8.38s. So this is what I about getting into the heat races and having those mistakes if you're in the transfer spot, because the field is so close. Even if you go back and you're in the B main, the guys that are in the B main aren't necessarily slower than the guys that are making the show. It's just the victim of circumstance and where their starting position in the heat, everything else. So if you don't transfer out of these heats, it can be a tough night. So it's interesting. Like I said, once we line up for these heats, I'm going to be real interested if these guys can get through them cleanly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one there. So, the 305s, we started the 305s from the beginning of what it's been here for the Hometown Heroes here on Wednesday night. And the 305s, we've talked so much about it. I think it came a long way from where it was in week one, where these guys were just kind of get acclimated with the car, the track, and what they can do and what they can't do with this car, because they were so used to like the late models or the 360 where it has a lot more power. And I think you've mentioned before there, John, is the 305s, they just bog down coming out of the turn, so you've got to drive it a lot differently to know how to keep the momentum going with this car.
Yeah, these are absolutely momentum cars. The 410, you can use the throttle if you kind of get out of shape, but it's got the power to pick it right back up. Even the 360 does. And the neat thing is about the 360s, and I know we'll cover this a little later, but the 360s will actually be in open sets tonight. So it is an iRacing's fixed set. So when we get to that point, the guys actually work on their cars for those. But the 305s, you really, with the momentum, you really have to almost keep them straight, keep them rolling, work the throttle and not dig. And one thing, if you even get the slightest bit of tire spin, especially early on when the track is heavy and it's kind of slimy like it is now, the back end will dig in a little bit, and you'll just, even the slightest, you can hear it in the motor just kind of go down a little bit when you're in the car. And, and you can look at the standings here, a half a tenth, you're all of a sudden you're halfway down the board. So
absolutely.
It's a big deal to keep them straight and keep the momentum.
Absolutely. There you go. Well, it looks like qualifying's winding down. What's up, Garrett? How you doing? Says, wish I could be here tonight, but I'm in Tennessee getting ready to watch some racing at Bristol. Well, we was just talking about Bristol. What they got going on in Bristol?
Yeah, World of Outlaws are there. I've seen
okay.
Yeah, I've seen Garrett's Facebook feed, and he's rubbing it in everybody's face that are friends with him.
That'd be interesting.
He's down in Bristol watching the big boys race.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Wow.
There's a few of the league guys down there. I know John Short's going to be down there this week. So, and at least one other driver, I can't remember the name, is going to be down there. So maybe there'll be a GForce Racing League get-together, tailgater or something down there.
Bristol not too far away from me. We actually was talking about that last week. Bristol's probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours from where I'm at, kind of northwest side from where I am. It's kind of right there on the edge of North Carolina and Tennessee. Really, really close. But we're heading off into heat race number 1 here tonight. A&J Custom Creations and Andy Patton. Well, I'll tell you what, that guy just does outstanding work with his craftsmanship that he has for plaques, trophies, and he's got a little kind of a whatnot type. I guess it'd be like a little plaque style thing that he can do. Light up. Either way, go to GForceRL.com and look at it because it is nice. And check him out on Facebook at A&J Custom Creations as we're getting set here to grid these guys up for heat race number 1.
I'll just want to point out too that during our ads, Andy has a one of the ads in there, you can see those trophies and those lit. Well, I think you can see in fact, see the one that John Hine bought and broke. So it's there.
Yeah. So
heat number 1, we've got on the pole, we got Blake Chapman and Ben Kelch. Row 2 from Washington State, Donovan Ross, and on his outside, Nick Vickery. Row 3, we have Jeff Flero, and on his outside, Blake Depanet. JR, John Rayner, is in row 4 on the inside of Matt Mateer. And then at the back, we got Chris Whipple. And good to see the retread out, Jim Bowie, 78 years old, and giving it a go. And the retreads will be in town next week, so hopefully Jim will be out for that as well.
There you go. Getting set, A&J Custom Creations, pace trucks moving in. We're getting set to go a little dirty here tonight. Cedar Lake style, green flag flies are racing here with the 305s. They're already 2 and 3 wide out front. Blake Chapman there, they're single file, and they're already beating and banging on each other.
Yeah, I'm not giving a little bit of room here, and everybody is hammered down at this point, so you really can't give a lot of up. There we go, contact up there.
That is Benjamin Kolsch. I hope I said it right. Kelsch? Is that right? Was it Kelsch? Kelsch. All right, good deal. Unfortunately, he just went wham right in the wall there. Nicholas Vickery holds on to the 4th place final transfer spot. You got Chris Whipple right there trying to run him down. Nicholas, though, is not happy with running in 4th. He wants Jeff Flero's spot there in 3rd as Donovan Ross hangs on to 2nd. Blake Chapman out front. That's a good nose to tail right there with battles on for 1st place. Here comes Ross looking to the inside.
Yeah, and and I say what we talked about earlier about people making a mistake when they're in a transfer spot, but the reason why you want to get a spot though is from 3rd to 4th, you pick up if you're sitting in 4th, you pick up 3rd. All of a sudden, you're a lot closer to the front when that feature goes. So there is a reason they're doing it. But right now they've settled in here and seem to be pretty content, trying to feel each other out and see if any moves can be made here towards the end of this.
Absolutely. Jeff Flero right there still hanging on the 3rd, but he's got Nicholas Vickery knocking down his back tail tank there just a little bit. And if he can't get it, he slides up the track, lost a lot of momentum. Here comes Vickery to the inside. Slide job. Is he going to be able to get it done? Not quite yet. He's going to have to fall back in 4th. In the meantime, behind them, they're racing it up back here around about 6th, 7th place spot. And Donovan Ross, though, he's going to try to take that lead away from Blake Chapman.
Here they come to the line. It's going to be close, but he prevailed on the outside to take Heat 1 here.
Yes, he did. We've seen that time and time again the last couple of weeks as guys went on the outside and just kind of went that outside groove and took that momentum. And Donovan Ross was able to get around Blake Chapman and take heat race number 1 here with A&J Custom Creations. Takes us into heat race number 2, Howard Hanna Real Estate. That's your number 1 family-owned and operated independent broker in the U.S., definitely, if you got anything that deals with real estate, buy, sell, rent, anything commercial or residential, check them out there at Howard Hanna Real Estate. They will definitely get you set up and get it done right for you. Who we got for heat race number 2 here tonight on the grid?
Well, we've got Brandon Templeton, and his daughter won the Lynn's Huggables a few weeks ago. So a shout out to him, and on his outside, Brian Moore Jr. Then we have a whole Hamilton community, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. GJ Boydell, Dan McLaren, and Connor Ross is maybe a few miles outside of Hamilton. And on the outside of Connor Ross, we have Mike Cramner, and then we have the Cali boy, Terry Landis, who just finished celebrating 420, and Jeff Parker on his outside. And then we have Kyle Parker, and Lane Snook is showing there.
He still looks like he's not going to get lined up. So
he says he's connected, but he is going to miss the call, which is going to bad luck for him. It's going to be entertaining for us. We're going to watch him come up from the back of a B main.
Yeah, absolutely. And then see Kyle Parker. Yeah, see Kyle Parker back here. He's going to have his work cut out for him coming here in the backside. He's got a good heavy hitting crew here in this heat race number 2 here with Brian Moore Jr., Brandon Templeton, Dan McLaren there, GJ Boydell. We're getting set here to go racing here for heat race number 2 here tonight.
Yeah, Kyle is not someone we normally see towards the back. I don't know what happened to him in qualifying, but he's going to be one you're going to want to watch here as we take the green next time around. I do expect him to move forward, but he doesn't have a lot of time to get there, though. That top 4, those guys are all quick up there.
Let's see what happens here on the rumblings here for our Howard Hanna Real Estate heat race number 2. We're getting set really quick here. Remember, top 4 go to the feature. Gonna have a heavy hitting field here because we're gonna have a C and a B mains. The pace truck's in, green flag flies. Templeton and Company up front. They drop it. We're already side by side for the 4th place spot. McLaren and Boydell. They got Connor Ross right there along with them.
Yeah, side by side, 2 rows deep. This looks like gonna be some good racing here in this heat race.
Absolutely, right there, a good battle for that final transfer. That'll be Connor Ross. Boydell. Ross wants it. Boydell's got it. You still got the top 4 guys there battling. As you see, for the moment, looks like Boydell lost a little momentum. Here comes to the outside of Ross. He's going to take that high lane on him.
Yeah, it looks like that high lane is without a doubt the place to be right now. The guys up there are making moves up there. And part of that is they can keep their momentum going a lot easier up there. As Connor dives down to the bottom, they're fighting for that 4th spot there.
Close quarter style racing right there. They're beating and banging, and usually just don't do that in open wheel style set karts, but they are right now. As you got Connor Ross hanging on to the 5th place spot, he's going to look to see if he can't slide up underneath Boydell and take that 4th place away from him and make life a lot easier to get into the feature that way than it is trying to run through two mains. But there he goes, slider on the inside. He wasn't able to make it completed. Oh, he's going to be able to now as Boydell's on the wall, and he is still flipping. Wow.
Yeah, the slightest mistake there took him out of a transfer spot. Now Connor Ross holds it down, but Connor's got someone on his back door there, Mike Cranmer.
Mike Cranmer.
Yes, sir.
And he's lost his front wing.
Yes, he has. And so we got 1 lap to go here, and Connor seems to be holding the distance here. We'll see how they get through 3 and 4 coming to the checkered.
Yep, final time around the track. Looks like Ross has got it right there. Parker tried to move an inside on him, couldn't get it done. Templeton out front. It's going to be all him putting in this one, as Connor Ross is going to hang on to 4th. That brings us into heat race number 3. Coast to Coast Racing Team here is set up here at GForce Racing League since the inception of the league tonight. And actually, they run from coast to coast, folks. They got the USA and Canada race teams here. So our heat race number 3, who we got on the grid here tonight?
Well, we got a Gambler Motorsports front row here with Dan Vaught and Zach Chapman. And behind him, we've got Anderson Bowen, one of the top Skippy drivers on Sunday nights. And on his outside, Josh Gerlach. Row 3, we've got Chris Schaefer and Gary Offit. Row 4, Don Dory from St. Catharines, Ontario. Steve Maurer from Clarence, Iowa. And Wyatt Whipple at the rear from New York State. Naples, New York, I believe.
Naples, New York. All right, good deal. Good set of field here as we're getting set for our heat race number 3 here tonight. Coast to Coast Racing Team. Daniel Vaught and company out front. 305 wing sprints. Like a lot of other guys. Nagar, how you doing out there, man? Oh, you said you was down there in Bristol too, so okay. And a lot of folks are going to Bristol tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking now at this all Gambler front row. I hope the teammates obey by the golden rule and don't wreck each other.
It's racing. One of them's got to win. But you're right. They could use that teamwork for each other. Chapman, Vaught up front. Green flag flies. We're racing here. You got Gerlach right there, and already trouble for Bowen as he hits the inside wall. He's off of it. Puts Chapman up to 2nd. He's got his hands full right now for 4th. Schaefer and Offit. Is that right? Gary Offit?
Yeah, that's how I've been calling it.
Right. Sounds good to me. We'll stay with it until we hear otherwise. Right now, he's in 5th place. He is right there on the back tail tank trying to see if he can't get Schaefer out of the way for 4th. Meantime, it's Daniel Vaught out front. He's got a pretty good lead. He's got Gerlach right there behind him. Chapman's everybody kind of being patient single file right now.
Yeah, it looks like Gerlach's getting off the corners a little better than Vaught here. So we've got a few laps here, about halfway, just over halfway now. So we got a little bit here to go. Some time for him to get up there and make some noise and at least make Daniel nervous.
Yes, it is. Daniel right there holding on to that top spot. Right behind him, you got Gerlach. He's hanging the 2nd. Chapman there in the 3rd place. Like I say, everybody's kind of single file, but this is kind of indicative of what we've seen in qualifying, how close these guys are time-wise. Pretty much is what you're seeing right here. Nobody can make up ground on anyone because everybody's running kind of just dead heat even.
Yeah, the leader just ran a 13:12, and the 2nd place ran a 13:17, so they're right on top of each other time-wise.
And that's just what that does is that brings about is hard to pass and just going to be like pretty much stuck where you are. Right there, Vault make a little bit of a slip up on the top side, 3 and 4. And then you see right there, Gerlach tried, not going to get it done, as Vault's going to hang on to it, and Shaper's going to hang on to the final transfer. Let's bring
You're starting to see them move around on the track a little bit here and have different lines as the groove now has widened.
About going to have to.
Way up.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to. If not, we're going to see single file. They're just so dead even here. But it brings in Heat Race 4, Mr. Plumber here. And I tell you what, if you need a plumber, check these guys out. And if you're in the Atlanta area, I don't know if they would go out of Atlanta area. They might. Job called for it. But either way, if you're in the Atlanta area, check out the Mr. Plumber there because he's in the Atlanta metro area for decades and brings a lot of experience to the table there for every job that he does. Who do we got on the grid here tonight?
On the pool for heat number 4, we got JP Scheider. And on his outside, one of the newcomers that's been coming out regular, Carson Cherry. Row 2, we have Vern Hawkins and Brian Moore Sr. And now we get into a bunch of my buddies, the retreads, some of the older guys. We got the G-Man, Gary Taylor, Mike Shaughnessy. He's not a retread. But then behind him, we've got Mr. Motorsports, Bob the Good from Kansas City, Missouri, and Texas Tom Tornado, or Texas Tornado, Tom Taylor, and Jeff Hayworth, and JR John Rayner, another one of the retreads who we'll see next week on the track for a special race.
There we go. Sounds good. As we're getting set here for our heat race number 4 here tonight. Mr. Plummer out here, and hopefully a lot of these guys won't need one for the motors when they get done with them here on the virtual side of things. But Vern Hawkins, you got JP Shader? You say Shader?
Scheider is how I said it.
Scheider. Okay. JP Scheider up front already banging off the wall a little bit. Vern's going to see, he's going to take advantage of it and go down on the inside. He's going to get 2 for 1 right there.
Yeah, but they're fighting back on the top side, both Carson and JP. He keeps tagging that wall, though, down the back straight. That's killing his momentum. Oh, they get real close there coming out of 4.
Did right there like do Scheider. Trader? Say it again for me. Scheider. All right. I'm going to get it right before it's over with. He falls back to 4th. Now he's got his hands full of Moore Sr. right there along with Cherry. And that's a good battle, actually, for the second on back spot. I mean, these guys just won't give up on each other.
Yeah, the track's finally gotten to where it's racy, and the top where they're at and the bottom are starting to be pretty equal to each other. And these guys are running all over the place trying to get around each other. It's good racing, and hopefully we'll see more of this now as the night goes on and this track continues to progress.
Like what you just said, these guys are going to have to start searching around the track right there. You see Schrader, man, just a little bit slip up. He's still back in 4th place spot. Moore Sr. hanging on. He's trying to give everything he can for 2nd place. He drives up there to the outside. Cherry goes down to the inside, though, and takes a slide job on him. It looks like, though, you still get that momentum push on the high side right now. That's where you kind of maybe want to be, it looks like, coming off the turn still. The inside middle lane is working pretty good, through the turn, but coming off to that high lane's where it's at.
Yeah, got 1 to go here. And where Carson broke his momentum, he was in the slick. If he was about a half a lane lower, I think that he could have fought him off a little bit longer.
Hawkins is going to come out and going to win this one here. Heat race number 4, Mr. Plummer here tonight. As Schreider's going to finish it off in the 4th place spot, final transfer. That was a good race there between those top 4 guys. That brings us into our C main here, which we normally don't even, you know what? We haven't even had a sponsor for it, so I just call it C main. GForce Racing C main. There we go. Who we got on the grid out here tonight?
We got 13 guys. If Snook can get in here, 13 guys. Only 4 are going to transfer to the B main. So we got tough show. So we got on the front, we got Jeff Barker and Wyatt Whipple. Row 2, the G-Man Gary Taylor and Blake Depanet. Row 3, GJ Boydell is in a bit of trouble here, and with Don Dory, and then Mike Shaughnessy and Jim Bowie, and Terry Landis, Anderson Bowen, Jeff Hayworth, Ben Kelch, and hopefully we see Lane.
Yeah, it's not gridded up yet. I don't think he's going to be able to make it. If you don't get in here in the next couple seconds or so, it'll be over with for him tonight, which, got one that looks like it's going to happen. It's just the computer problems, and that's one thing that, you know, you have to battle with as far as the virtual world. There's some things that's out of your control. I've even had problems on the broadcast side of stuff, and it happens with racers and broadcasters and all that. You definitely just nothing you can do, you know. Yeah, nothing you can do.
Happened to me on Monday night, and you know, the only thing I tell my guys, my teammates, you know, when that stuff happens, just, you know, sometimes you pull in and you pop a motor in hot laps, or your engine just isn't working right, or plug wires. It's just stuff that's out of your control. It stinks, but you just gotta move on. That's
what we kind of chalk it up on the virtual side. You know, it's like in real racing, like what you just said, motor blows, tire goes down, you know, battery issue or something like that, take you out. We have what we call connection, Mother Nature, and everything else that can happen to us over here. So it's unfortunate on Snook's part here tonight, but that's all right. He'll bounce back next week. As we're getting set here for Barker, Whipple, and company up front. See who's going to get this one. Top 4 guys out of this one. A lot of them are going to go home here tonight. Green flag flies. We're racing.
This is go or go home, so you've got to take a few more chances than what you did in the heat race. The good, solid place to be is second. Even a better place is first. I think anywhere around third or fourth, you're going to be in the hot seat.
Right there, you already see him beating and banging right there. A little bit of sliding and all going on around about the 5th place, and that's going to put Terry Landis and company and Jim Bowie off the pace in the back. That puts G.J. Boydell in 5th, and Donald Dory is the man right there in the final transfer. But he has still got his hands full with a whole slew of them, and look at it. He's just going to kind of get meat in the middle of a sandwich.
Yeah, they're not holding back here. Like I said, it's go or go home at this point. And these guys are driving like it.
Well, that 4th place spot has, well, they're wrecking. They're tearing each other up. That's Donald Dory down at the bottom. Now you got Wyatt Whipple has moved up, and he was battling. That was 3rd and 4th place spot, folks, right there. And just like that, they're around about. Jeff Hayworth, hope I said that one right, is in 3rd, and then you got Bowen. Anderson Bowen now in 4th place. So at this point here, guys, who in the world's going to survive to make it to the B main?
Yep, it's survival, that's for sure. But don't look now, Lane is up to 8th.
Yeah, where'd he come from? He is up to 8th, so he keeps on. He might could get up there. I mean, he's got the time to do it. I didn't even see him come on the track. I'm glad. Good watching out right there. But yeah, he goes shooting right on around. And if he keeps it up, he's up to 7th. So he definitely has a shot. He's only got to get about 2 or 3 more spots. Where's Bowen at? Let's kind of see the difference between him. There's a solid about 3-4 seconds between them. I mean, he still could probably get. Yeah, I don't know. He might be able to get up there. Not with a white flag. I don't think he can. He's going to need a lot of help. But hey, good showing for him to try.
He tore up through the field pretty quick. He's without a doubt the fastest car on the track.
Oh yeah, just doing a run out of time. A little bit too late coming on there because he got up to 6th. But Bowen's going to hang on to 4th, and Depinet is going to be the man that's going to pull it off for the C main here, and it's the top 4: Depinet, Barker, Hayworth, and Bowen all going to the B main. Snook just right on the outside, just come in just a little bit too late there, which there again, running from the back to the front. Was an awesome show for him, and we just saw a lot of cars out there just get tore up. But that puts us into our B main, SBGC 3D printing B main, folks. If you want to look for some awesome 3D printed stuff, Tom Taylor does some outstanding work. We're going to watch some of his work later on in one of the videos here. But our B main here tonight, who we got on the grid?
Okay, we got on the pole we got Matt Mateer. On his outside we got Mike Cranmer. Row 2, Gary Offit and Bob DeGood. Row 3, we got Chris Whipple and Kyle Parker. Row 4, Steve Maurer and Tom Taylor. So we will be taking 8. So those guys right now are in transfer spots. And the guys looking to get in, JR, John Rayner, Blake Depinet, Jeff Barker, Jeff Hayworth, and Anderson Bowen.
It'll be a good one. At least we've got 8 drivers here on this one. They can get in, and they're looking to get in and jump up through the field here, as opposed to 4. 4 usually is a really tight squeeze when you got a big field like this. And it looks like Steve Moyer not going to grid.
Well, that's going to open it up for somebody else to step in. That means one less car you got to pass on the track.
Oh, and Joe, just to go back to Lane, that was an incredible run. But we have 2 drop weeks here, so he can at least afford to drop this week. So that's good news out of it. But still, that was a brilliant run. We've got a lot of autism wraps in this car this heat. So,
I see them out there.
It's going to make it tough for you, Joe, but it's good to see them all out there supporting the cause.
Yeah, I'd see at least about 4 or 5 out there so far. So like you said, man, definitely looking good out on the track right now. Mateer, is that right? Is it Mateer? Matthew Mateer?
Yep.
Mateer, all right, good deal. Out front right now, leading it. Mike Cranmer right there in second. Green flag flies. Offit sitting right there in third. Already trouble in the back. Kyle Parker's involved. The Good's involved with it. Oh, man, that is not what Kyle Parker, how his night. And I tell you, that is just pretty much, I saw it on the wound for these wing sprints, something that I don't think he's having a good time here on the Hometown Heroes. Right now, it's heating up around about the 8th place spots. You got Bowen there. Tom Taylor's moved to 6th. Rayner's there in 7th. Offit's up in the 4th place. You got a lot of racing going on throughout the field.
Yeah, and a good thing for both Parker and Snook here. They're going to have 2 more bites at the apple, off the apple here. They've got 2 more races tonight, so they'll be able to shake it off and get back on the horse there quickly.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said earlier, man, we're going to have the 360s out here in a little while. Right now, Bowen's hanging on to that 8th place spot. You got Tom Taylor right there with it, but he has Hayworth right behind him, chewing at the bit, trying to see if he can't get up there and take that spot away from him. He would love to get into it because really right now, only one car is going to go home because DeGood, Parker, Depinet, and Moyer all are out of this race. So Hayworth or one of the other guys are going home here tonight.
Yeah, and right now they're trying to wreck themselves out of that position
and there you go, Tom Taylor. Yep. Wow. See, here's my thing now with the guys. I've always said this: if you know that you're in the show and it's set up like this, don't go up there and wreck. Try to stay in the show.
That's, it seems like easy, and God knows I've been in that position too, where it's like, okay, be patient here, but there's something about your right foot getting disconnected from your brain when you're there and you're wheel to wheel and you really want to beat that guy. There's sometimes it's a lot easier said than done to just pull the reins back a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But I totally agree with you.
That's a racer mentality.
Oh, yeah.
I got to give you that. Now maybe I looked at it different when I was on the track because man, I wanted to be there. And look at this, just like that, Hayworth on the checkered flag. We've seen it a many times, week in and week out. Are you kidding? Tom Taylor's going to sneak in there and get to the feature. Wow.
Got it at the top of the broadcast. That's.
We were just talking about it too, wasn't we? Wow. He got that right foot and he thought about it and he put it in there too hard. But man, this puts us in our Icon Sim Sports intermission here tonight, folks. If you're looking for an awesome rig, check out Icon Sim Sports. They will definitely get you fixed up and are the title sponsor here for the Hometown Heroes tonight. We're here with the GForce Racing League and everything you need to know about GForce Racing League. Check them out at GForceRL.com. A world of information. Want to give a shout out to Justy Sick, iRacing Photos Driver of the Week. That'd be Kyle Parker. I do know that. Saw it earlier in the week. So we'll give a shout out to Justy Sick coming on board here for the Photo Driver of the Week. And of course, we're live tonight here on the GForce Esports on YouTube, where you can see it 4 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. Hit the likes and shares. We're also on the iRacing Live and OSRnetwork on YouTube. Folks, I tell you what, we're going to step away real quick. We're going to be right back here. Don't go anywhere because we still got the feature here tonight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, we're back, folks, here, getting set for the feature. Before we go, though, we're going to get a real quick word. One of the drivers out there, Roger Will.
Yeah, Connor Ross, you're in the seat. How's the track looking? Let's get a track report from you before you take off here.
It's looking really good. It's looking really racy. I think you're going to have that top side. You're going to have a lot of momentum, but I mean, if you can hit it perfect, that bottom side's going to be there with it too, and you might even see maybe a middle line start to come into play later at the end of the race when the top evens itself off and the bottom starts to slow down. Maybe it'll be 3 lines, maybe 4. You never know.
Where are you going to be, buddy?
I'm starting on the top right now, so I'll be on the top until I see someone drive past me on the inside. Then I'll go to the bottom.
Okay, thanks a lot. Good luck, buddy. Good luck.
Tell you what, Icon Sim Sports here for our feature tonight. 24 drivers about to get set here to do battle Cedar Lake style, guys. It has been a all-out brawl here tonight for the 305 so far as the pace cars pulling them around. Good insights, though. We were talking about it right there. A lot of good insights with a lot of great drivers. And just kind of give you what they can feel out here on the track. Top, bottom, we'll have to see which prevails. It's getting set to go green flag here.
They've got them stacked and packed and racked them, so we're about to turn them loose.
Absolutely. Pace trucks moving out. Here we go. 2x2. Green flags in the air. We're racing here. The Icon Sim Sports feature, they're already 3 wide there in the 3rd place spot.
Yeah, 3 wide all the way back through the field pretty much. Great start.
Whoa, 4 wide in the back, and they're already mixing up. That's back here by the mid-pack where you got Matthew Mateer right there up on the wall. Well, that's a new way around the track.
Oh,
Cranmer's
hard hit.
upside down. Oh, wow. Let's go back here on the Malcolm Mills replay real quick. We saw a lot of that happening there back there in the back. They were 2 and 3 and 4 wide back there. Just that's kind of how it is. It's a traffic jam right there is when you get started until they get spread out a little bit. He just looks like he might have just got up there against the wall and got pinched up there. And just wrong place, wrong time, really. I mean, nothing you can do, kind of. Yeah, car in front of him, he got woed up. Then he tried a new way around the track right there and then got hit. Boom.
Yeah, when you're stacked up like that and you catch the wall or something, get a little out of shape, you know, you don't really have a whole lot. You don't got a whole lot of track to catch yourself, to straighten yourself out. And unfortunately, I think Mike was just a victim of basically the start of the race and having everybody on top of each other.
Oh, yeah, and that's just kind of what we're going to see here. Let's go single file. Those guys, I mean, it's just a product of racing. When you got this many cars on here, it'll be a wild one on the shootouts, on the starts. But we're here for our Icon Sim Sport feature here tonight. Autism Awareness Night here for the Hometown Heroes. We've got some special things coming up here for our second race. These are the 305s, wing sprints out here. We've got the 360 wing sprints coming up next. And then we've got the Renegade division, which I'm going to say they're made up of the 360s also.
Yeah, the 360s okay. Also, but the ones next are the 410s.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry about that. So we're going to hit all avenues here tonight as far as the wing sprints go. 410, 360, and the 305. So it's going to be an awesome feat. As Ross right now out front, boy, I tell you, up top, he had that thing rolling. That's actual vault right there in second, but Ross took that high lane and made it swing all the way around. Here comes Templeton right there. Going to see if he can't take the low line. They're going in low. You always call that the slider line, where they go in kind of low and kind of let it sling up high.
Yeah, right now Donovan's running the top in 3 and 4 and the bottom in 1 and 2, which kind of surprises me, but it's working for him. But Daniel is hanging tough right there on the bottom at 3 and 4.
Yes, he is. Right down low. He's got Templeton up high. We're riding along with Chapman right here. He's got a good front view of what he's seeing in front of him. That battle between Vern Hawkins there and Templeton. Chapman's hanging at the high line right now. He's got Moore Jr. on his back end. Connor Ross back there. Everybody's kind of 2x2 set throughout the field. A little bit strung out right now, but you still got a lot of side-by-side racing throughout. A little 3 wide right here around about the 10th place spot.
Yeah, they're fighting tooth and nail for every spot all the way through the field.
Oh, in a wall hard, Jeff Flaro. We watched that one live right there, and he went end over end, and a couple other machines are going to get involved and just make it a party.
Yeah, and I know we've said this before on dirt, you know, it's just not, okay, the trouble ahead, let me put my foot on the brake and slow down. You don't slow down on dirt very well.
No.
You know, it doesn't come to a sudden stop like asphalt.
It doesn't. I mean, you know, it's hard enough, like you just mentioned, on the asphalt side, especially doing these kind of speeds, to come to a stop. But, you know, especially on dirt, where dirt is almost, I guess, not like it would be on ice or rain. I mean, to try to get that thing woed up like that, especially when you're this close on top of each other, to me, I'd say it's almost nearly impossible. Maybe the wrong word to use, but it's pretty difficult.
A big part of that too is because of the brake bias. You know, when you hit the brakes and slam on the brakes, the back just wants to loop out, so you can't just stab the brakes.
You can adjust that in these?
You cannot adjust it here in the fixed race, no.
So that's new to me, because on the fixed on asphalt you can't. So in dirt side you can't?
Nope, you can't do it on dirt.
Okay. Well, that's something, babe. Learn something new all the time.
Let me rephrase that. I'm fixed on dirt.
Well, on fixed, but that's what I'm saying. On fixed asphalt, you can. That's the only thing I noticed you can adjust is brake bios, other than your steering ratio as we go back greens. That's what I said. So, hey, learn something new, interesting on the dirt side there as far as fixed setup goes. But out front, Daniel Vault, along with Donovan Ross. We got Vern Hawkins, Blake Chapman there with it. Zach Chapman's hanging on the 7th. Good battle going on around about that. 7th, 8th place spots. They're all about 2 and 3 wide back there.
Yeah, crazy restarts. You got to get what you can get on these restarts, and these guys are really being aggressive. Oh, we got the leaders get together here.
Like you just said, leaders get together on the top side. That's Donovan Ross along with Blake Chapman. That's out front. Let's see. Blake Chapman's up there on the top side. That's Vern Hawkins actually for the 2nd place spot right there. Hawkins is hanging on. Vault's right there behind him. Who's going to get this one? Because you got Ross right there in the mix too.
Looks like Daniel's got a little bit stronger of a car on the outside. Now he's running that middle where Connor was talking about coming in.
Ooh, Whipple's around. No caution. He went off into the pits. Good job on his end right there. As you see, Donovan Ross falls back to the 5th place spot. Meanwhile, Blake Chapman is the man out front running this thing here for our feature tonight. As Vern Hawkins right there in second. We got a lot of cars around. Yellow flag's out. Oh, Carson Cherry going to Malcolm Mills replay. See what happened to him. Back there a little bit out of shape in the middle. Kind of high right now, and he has a little help going around. And then he just drives off into the pits.
Yeah, he definitely had some help getting around there. Close quarters racing, it happens.
Oh, it does right there, like you said. Well, we know this is kind of a short track here. Has been interesting here so far tonight. Chapman going to be able to hang on to it? What you got?
You know, Joe, it's interesting, too, with the caution laps not counting, not this caution, previous caution, 5 cars went into the pits and got repairs and got out without losing a lap. So that's one of the advantages of cautions not counting is, you know, you can at least get back on the same lap and have a chance.
I hear you.
But Chapman was pulling out a big lead there, and they've reeled him in with this. So let's see if he gets a jump.
I had to say that. The folks, you heard that right there. That's what the dirt side guys, they're over here cheating. Getting laps back without any counting. I tell you what.
Provide the third and fourth guys another shot at second, because I think second was actually holding the 2 guys behind him up, Vern there. So I think if they get around, it'll be interesting to see what kind of pace Daniel or Connor has for Chapman here as we start to wind this down.
And again, you know, I know Chapman loves these single file restarts. Any leader does, because it allows him just to go when they need to go and get that advantage without having that inside car or outside car on him. As you see, he gets a good jump. Hawkins right there along with it. Daniel Vaught's going to see if he can climb back up into the second place spot. Meantime, Connor Ross there in fourth. Donovan Ross of the Ross boys fourth and fifth right now. Here we got a battle for the lead. Hawkins is trying to run down Chapman. Chapman's high. Hawkins is hanging down to that low line.
Yeah, he is. This time he's getting better runs than what he was that last one. He is hanging tough now.
Yeah, he is trying to get it, but again, we were talking about it all race long. You can just see the momentum getting off that top side where that low line can get that run going into the middle of the turn. It's coming off if you can keep the momentum going. That high lane, we were talking about that. You can just see it's paying dividends for Chapman right now as the caution's out. Oh, Brandon Templeton around. Let's go back on a Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened to him. He is the man in that white machine right there. And got a feeling maybe just him a little contact with the yellow. Looks like, from here, it looks like a DHL machine. So just a little contact between those two. 2 guys trying to take up same real estate at the same time. Usually don't work on racing.
Kind of almost looked like a carbon copy of the incident before. The yellow car just getting in the slick and kind of getting the car getting a little bit out of his control and getting up there and tapping another driver.
That's it. So here we go. We're gonna set this thing up for a good one. Essentially almost like a green-white checkered here on the dirt side of things. Chapman, though, out front. He's been able to hold him off. He's just got to be mistake-free here because Vern is there. Knocking on the back end, and is going to see if he opens up that door just a little bit, Hawkins is going to be able to run through it. Don't count out Ross or Vault, because they're there too, so we'll have to see how this one plays out.
Ross has picked up 11 spots.
Yeah, he's really come up the field, but what Vern needs to do here, though, he was pretty much even with Chapman through the corners, even 1 and 2, even coming out, where he is losing